afternoon. Welcome back to episode 4. This is After Dark Paranormal Quest, and this is episode 4. This episode is based on our first home visit, and I am joined by, everyone knows him,
the one and only, the Brettster.
Yeah, the Brettster's here. Yeah, pretty much this episode is focused on, again, the Scunthorpe house that we investigated. God, mid last year.
Nightmares.
Yeah, mid last year. It was a long while ago. But there's a few things that I do need to make everyone aware before we do get into this episode. First of all, we are running a competition on our Instagram. So if you're not on our Instagram and you're not following, bad on you. Go to HGC After Dark on Instagram and give us a follow. And we do have a competition running at the moment in time. Pretty much 0 or from 1 to 150. All you got to do is enter the free competition, like the comment that I've uploaded on there. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we can check that afterwards. And also just comment below. That is it. Simple, done and dusted. The winner will get a t-shirt or hoodie of our merchandise that we've got at the moment, and also a £100 Amazon voucher that will be sent to you straight away. So hopefully you can flick across there and give us a check it out, see what you think. So, Brettness.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good, yourself?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. Done 4 12-hour shifts, night shifts. I've had 4 hours sleep. I've had 1 Red Bull, and I'm straight onto a podcast. And we are going to an investigation in about 2 hours' time. Is this correct, or is this not correct?
It is correct. It's a location that you've been wanting me to go to for a while.
Oh yes, the care home. If anyone's not followed it or seen it, we have 2 episodes on the channel again from the formidable care home.
And a Class A EVP, if I'm correct.
God, yeah, Class A. If you can get a bit higher than Class A, this would be it. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't. Class A, first EVP, first shadow figure. Probably one of the most active paranormal locations I've ever been to, and probably in the last 12 months at least. And so I thought, well, Brett didn't go last time because he was too busy eating Sunday dinner, something like that.
I love a Sunday dinner. I didn't have one today, though.
So I thought, why not? We got him for the podcast. So as a use and abuse situation, take him down to this care home, scared the bejesus out of him, and then see really how much of a man he really is, or a girl.
I don't really get scared, though, to be honest.
Yeah, he always says that. So we're going to go down there after this, but that's another story. Before we get into this podcast, there is something else I want to mention. I did an investigation on Monday just gone. This is Sunday we are recording on. Monday just gone. I did an investigation with another fellow investigator called Michelle. We went to a location which is called... What do you call it again? Something Disney?
No, I just remember Disney.
I remember Disney. Something Disney. I will find it on here. It is... Norton Disney. Good job I had that open.
Roman Villa.
Norton Disney is a little minute little village outside of Lincoln in the UK. The village itself doesn't have many people living there, but the land itself is full of history, dating back all the way down to the 1st century. So it's steeped in a lot of history. And there's a little plot of land there with a little farm and 2 buildings on there, 2 individual properties. So me and Michelle decided to go down there and investigate. By God, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what an investigation this turned out to be. The first house, we built up the energy, we got it all riled, got it all raring to go, and then this second property we went in, did it the same night. It all kicked off, and it still sends shivers down my spine now, because I know once I come to edit episode 2, it's going to be, I would say, Class A evidence and Class A. It is. There's going to be loads that come along with it. There really is. I've already near enough finished episode 1. That should be uploaded sometime next week, so I'm looking forward to everyone to see that. But episode 2 is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So mark my words, this is something not to miss. Anyway, I'm blabbing on. Brettness, you're looking real. I don't know what's up with you today.
I'm looking real what?
I don't know. Not the same.
I'm not the same?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So this week's episode, like I said before, first home investigation. Michelle, who currently owns the property and still does now to this day, she contacted us independently and said she has some freakiness going on in the house, and it wasn't the freakiness that we might have thought in the first place. It was actually literally spirits, and she just wasn't too sure what was going on. And yeah, we're going to explain our findings and what we went through when we actually went to the house. You can start off, Brett.
Well, when we first got approached to go to the house, it was amazing because that's sort of the route we wanted to take going forward with HGC. When we got to the property, it's just a standard, typical house. It's lived in.
3-bed.
3-bed house, yeah.
Terraced.
Terraced?
Yeah, it's terraced.
End of terrace. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a terrace. They had pets as well, didn't they?
Yeah, dog and 2 rabbits, but unfortunately one of them passed away, so they've got 1 rabbit now.
Yeah. And like you say, when we first got in there, there wasn't no, what's the word? Unsettled. No, I can't.
I was going to say unsavoury, but it doesn't make sense. There wasn't no heaviness.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Yeah.
Felt like a normal house when you walked in, which, bearing in mind, this is our first home visit, so that was the first one. So we had to be professional, if anything.
Yeah.
We're going to someone's property, someone's home, so we had to be professional from start to finish. But I'm personally speaking for myself, you're going to be a bit nervous because you're anxious, you're going into someone's home.
And they're with you as well, normally, we're in the location ourselves.
So walking in there, back then we had Mark, who was editing. Again, it keeps cropping up, and trust me, as time goes by, it'll keep cropping out, so it will happen. He was editing, so he was very much a stickler on B-roll and interviews and this, that, the other, to try and make the episode look more like a film. But that's another story. So he wanted the episode to look the part, basically. So we had all that rigmarole to sort out, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we walked into the property, had a walk around, had a look around. Brett's doing his Zach Bagans thing. He's got his EMF in his hands.
Love it. Checking for high readings.
High readings, Brett, and he's flicking his arm around like crazy, like he's some kind of, I don't know.
We did get a lot of spikes that when one was doing the first sweep.
That was a scary part, I think. That's what took us back a bit.
It was just in the red, and we've never really come across it coming in the red that much. And me being me, I like to try and go through everything with a fine tooth comb. So at that point, I got on to actually turn the full power to the house off, didn't I?
Yeah.
So we got to turn the full power off, which they did, and then I checked again, and I'm like, oh, it's still spiking.
Yeah.
And then we've come to realise there's a massive tower block just in the distance, and the amount of satellite dishes and stuff what's in there on top of there, we were assuming that could have been the spike for what was going.
You're supposed to build this up for the listeners. You've just gone from A to B straight to Z. God almighty, we've just missed a big chunk about everything out there. So yes, forget that part that just Brett said. We'll go back about 15,000 steps. Pretty much we did an EMF sweep like you just mentioned. We needed to find why there were hotspots, why there was in certain areas, and primarily which rooms they were located in. And we was getting spikes in the 3 bedrooms upstairs, but to the rear of the property. To the front of the property, it was getting near enough nothing, zero, zilch,
yeah,
nothing.
Spike,
nothing at all. So we was getting a bit confused and was trying to narrow it down as exactly what it was. And of course, we got the power turned off in the full property to try and narrow that out. Unfortunately, it didn't. So again, we was trying to figure it out and scratch our heads. It's only when Mark looked through the window and there was a massive tower block right behind. I would say probably about 150 meters away, and right above there was aerials, God knows what, sky dishes, you name it. There was a lot at the top of there. So we just put 2 and 2 together and made 4. I was going to say 3 then, but we
went
4.
downstairs, didn't we, outside into the garden with the EMF, and it was spiking just the same as it was in the bedroom. So the conclusion was it was that causing it.
We thought it was that. I mean, we have in this kind of field, you have to try and narrow out certain results that you get, because you're not just spoiling it for yourself, you're spoiling it for your viewers, for the content that you're creating. It's a false content, so we literally had to try and narrow it down and out as to why I was getting such high readings, and they were really high, weren't they?
Yeah, there was. Like I say, we've never seen them like that before, and we've been constantly as well.
So once we figured that out, we did put 2 and 2 together, and we thought, like, okay, we'll take off the EMF spikes, and we just won't really pay attention to them on this full investigation, which we're going to do. So going forward, we did that. The property itself, the owner, Michelle, she classes herself as a witch, a pagan witch, and she's a fellow paranormal investigator, just like myself and Brett. So she's been doing it for a lot more years than us, probably. Oh no, I'm lying. She hasn't actually. She's been interested in it for over 20 years, but she's only been actually investigating for a year. So she started at the same time as us, if I'm rightly. Because we first met her through Degree Street.
We did, yeah, that's correct, yeah.
So pretty much she's interested in the same field as us, and she believes that when she goes to investigation, she sometimes brings things back. and they seem to reside within her property or are attached to herself, which is fair enough. It's just one of those things that can potentially happen in this kind of field of work. The first thing that struck me back, Brett, was a couple of facts. Number one, she's a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
Right? So we know that fact. Yeah. She's then saying, HGC, you guys, can you come in and investigate my property? Because I'm not too sure what's going on here. Now I'll go back a step. She's a paranormal investigator that doesn't know what's going on in her house.
Yeah, but it could be that obviously we had the required tools that she's not had.
She had the required tools.
No, she's got a REM pod and stuff, hasn't she? But
She had everything.
Yeah, we've got the SLS and we've got some. We used the
Oh no!
cameras was decent.
Don't get me wrong. I think she wanted a bit more of a professional unit to come in to, number one, create an episode. Number two, maybe find out a few answers, and this, that, the other. Don't get me wrong, but the first red flag for me was she's a paranormal investigator. She should know the answers. She should be investigating.
Yeah,
because ever since we left the property, I was getting video messages and normal messages saying, look at the evidence I'm catching, look at the evidence I'm catching, and show me evidence of the place. And I'm thinking, why didn't you do that before we investigate? I mean, I'm not bothered. We got an episode out of it.
Yeah.
But
it was an experience, wasn't it? You know.
Of course, but it was just a little red flag that stood up for me. Like, she should be knowing the answer. Should be investigating every single day. If I had spirits around me, like, every single day, I'll have every bit of equipment out all the time.
Yeah.
Like a mobile phone when you talk to it into your ear. I'd have an EMF to me all the time, me trying to figure out what's going on in my property. So, I mean, it's kind of a red flag, but I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to it. Michelle's a lovely, lovely woman, and I still work with her to this day, and she does actually go on investigations with After Dark, and I thoroughly enjoy her time, and she's really good at what she does. So it worked out perfect for all, from the start to finish, it worked out perfect. Anyway, back to the house. So the house itself, of course, we did a sweep through. We did an interview with Michelle and her ex-partner at the time, Richard. Now, he didn't live at the property, but he lived there before they broke up. So he's experienced a bit of the paranormal himself. So, of course, we had to do an interview with them to give ourselves and the content that we was creating, the listeners, an insight of what was going on in this property. So, literally, there was getting noises, of course, bangs. I don't remember if they were getting any kind of voices, but they were getting a lot of spikes on the equipment that they currently had.
EMF,
Yeah, and I remember the son, Bren, was getting a lot of stuff happening in the loft.
Yeah, it was, because, they said about the loft, didn't they?
Yeah.
Said about a boy or something up there?
He was putting stuff up there. I mean, loft's a loft, it's an extra space, so he's putting boxes up there from his equipment, or I don't know, whatever it was.
Headphones, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was throwing it right to, a 14-year-old boy, like, he just opened the loft space up, throw it to the far corner and shut it. And he said he threw an old headphone box in there, and he threw it to the far corner with a bit of force, closed the lid, and that was it. Went back a couple of weeks later to go and put something else in, and the box that was he threw in a couple of weeks previous was literally sat there on the corner of corner of the hatch, and fell on top of him when he opened the hatch, and he couldn't figure out how it got from the far corner of the loft to the actual loft hatch itself. And we'd been in there, we'd checked the loft out, and we investigated it, and the loft is a big space.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, had a lot of stuff in there, didn't it?
A lot of stuff in there.
So if he's threw it into that far corner, it's not coming back.
It's not going to make its way back, is it?
No.
So he explained that situation, and of course he explained he was hearing a lot of bangs and knocks and the usual paranormal kind of experience that you're gonna get in a property if there's something there malevolent. He was getting that, so of course we had to pay attention to it. Investigation time. So pretty much we did a sweep downstairs and we did a bit of investigation, so a bit of calling out on it.
Yeah.
Finding out if there's anything residual in there or if there's anything malevolent that wanted to communicate. I didn't, for the whole investigation, get a single EVP.
No, we didn't get any, did we?
None at all, not a single one. And I'm a stickler for everyone who should know on EVPs. It tells a story in itself, and I didn't get a single one, which was a bit confusing, but it's just one of those. You're going to go to locations and you're not going to get one. So I didn't pay much attention to it. But we did get, I think, a stick figure in the loft.
Yeah, when I went to go back and check on the SLS to see if it was still recording.
Yeah.
As I come up the loft hatch, it was just sort of to my left. And we'd already been, I think we'd gone for a break, haven't we, or something, and I'd just come and...
I left everything upstairs recording.
Yeah, I left it all recording. I'd just come up just to go check, see if it was still recording. because again the SLS was still sort of new, so we needed to just keep checking it really. And then I literally just saw like what looked like a little young boy stick figure.
I didn't know it was a boy.
It was really small, so I'm assuming it'd be a boy. Well, it might be a girl. I don't even know. Yeah, well, a child.
God, did the stick figure have something else in between its stick legs or something? I don't know. I get where you're coming from.
But I mean, when was in the loft? Cause I did, to be honest, that investigation, I spent a lot of time in that loft, didn't I? I was in there with Brandon. Because you went into Michelle's room and they was doing some stuff in there, weren't they?
Yeah, because
what are they called? Thingy rods.
Oh, dowsing rods.
Dowsing rods.
Yeah, because there was quite a few of us doing what we was doing, and Michelle being very much intrigued and intrigued to investigate the paranormal at that present time. She was investigating in upstairs, and we was investigating in the loft. So we had a lot of cross contamination with sound, which came more apparent in the edit, which was a bit of a pain to edit out. And so a bit of evidence and a bit of footage had to be dropped for that reason. But they were doing dowsing rods in Michelle's bedroom, and they was getting some really good activity through it. I mean, I've seen dowsing rods being used. I've bought some myself. I've got some in my kit, but I've never used them. But she used them, and she got some really good feedback on them, and I think that was an opener to the actual investigation itself, because I found them things kind of intriguing. The magnetic field and stuff.
The really
and all
thing
that.
out. Yeah.
I'm still a bit bland and a bit wet behind the ears regarding them, but I did buy a pair myself to, in the future, probably use on a next investigation. And again, I will get round to actually using them. I just keep forgetting them in my arsenal. It's just one of those.
Yeah.
But so we had Michelle below us, and we was in the loft. Now we did another live.
We did, Facebook Live.
Yeah, Facebook Live at this investigation in the loft.
About an hour and a half on it, I know. It was going on for ages.
It's supposed to go for 30 minutes, and we ended up doing it for an hour and 22.
It's because load of activity started to drum up, though, didn't it? Like the REM pods was going off. And that's another thing as well.
And the balls were going off.
Yeah, there was. That's another thing as well, though. You know the EMF detector?
Yeah.
When we was in that loft, it wasn't spiking like it was when we was in the bedrooms.
No, it wasn't. That's very valid point. Yeah,
which was strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you'd think if it was if it was picking up something radio transmitter wise, the flat 150 meters away, you personally think the loft is going to be the space where you're going to get the most.
We was near the part of the roof going down, so one would pretty much would have been in that bedroom.
Pretty much, it's like putting your phone in the air and trying to get a better signal. The higher your phone, the better your signal. Yeah. So we personally presumed that once you're in the loft, you're going to get the higher EMFs.
And it did spike, but only
nothing like we was getting downstairs.
Only like when we was asking for like responses and things like that, it was spiking a little bit into the amber, and then the REM pods was going off at the same time. Yeah. I think that's why I stayed in the loft a little bit more, because it all started to drum up.
It is, and I remember we actually, because Michelle thought there was a malevolent, very evil male spirit in the loft who likes to reside in there, which I love. When anyone says it's an evil kind of spirit, I want to get in there straight away, because I've dealt with evil spirits before in the past, and by God, the energy that they can create and the things they can do are 10 times better than just a normal malevolent, just a normal spiritual being that's passed over, who doesn't necessarily have the strength and the energy to communicate like they want to. But I always found that the more evil the person, the more stronger they seem to be.
Yeah.
It's a weird scenario. So when she mentioned that, I was like, oh, I want to get in that loft and have a look. But then she mentioned that there might be a few kids up there as well, or kids residing in the property, but they like to go in the loft. So, of course, we brought trigger objects, like a couple of cars.
Oh, yeah, so the cars, then I see them move.
Yeah, to see if we can get any poltergeist activity. Unfortunately, sorry to let everyone down, we didn't get no poltergeist activity. And for 12 months, I've been trying to get poltergeist activity, and I keep failing on that aspect. But one day, it's like one of the goals that I've set in my head that I want to actually visually capture.
It's just one of them things, isn't it? It's just,
oh, God, it'll happen. I mean, I wanted a shadow figure at one point, and I got that, so definitely something poltergeist-wise is definitely it's one of the things I really want to happen, especially to see it with my own eyes. How well they react, though, might be a bit different.
Yeah,
that's the question. Yeah. Even I might be jumpy. But, yeah, so we had trigger objects up there. We was doing a live. Everything was going really well. We did find that to drum any activity up, it was we spent a lot of time doing it, and we was getting activity from it. So we was getting motion balls. They were flashing, but they weren't flashing for absolutely ages. And all of a sudden, they do it, and it was like made it more appealing and more satisfying knowing that we had to work and drum this energy up to get the
Yeah,
activity.
and there was on queue as well, wasn't there?
It
was responses back to us.
It
What
was.
I was asking, which was great.
Definitely, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. And then of course we had a lot of REM pods. Now at that present time we had the cheaper version of the REM pod, and I do advise anyone who's going to go for buy a REM pod, don't buy them. The cheaper ones are absolutely pain. They're really loud. They're like a jumbo jet. They really are.
They are, aren't they?
And the amount of times they caught me out because it'd go off randomly, and I'd be in a mind of my own. Your senses are 10 to the dozen no matter what anyway, because you're in a paranormal atmosphere.
And it's dark. You can't see, just it's massive loud noise.
And a big light that goes on with it.
Yeah.
So I jump out my skin, my heart flutters, I take a step back, and I need to take a breath, and it caught me out so many times. So I would definitely suggest going for the proper REM pods. They're about 200, you can get them between 180 and 270, which is a fair amount of money, but they are worth their weight in gold. We haven't got one yet, but I am looking at getting one. We've been using Michelle's at the moment. She's got one herself, and there's such good bit of tool. A spirit and energy and apparition can manipulate them so much easier than they can do the cheaper versions. The cheaper versions have got one aerial, and it's a normal FM AM frequency aerial. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would still buy one anyway and take it to a location, because you know if it does go off, you've definitely got some kind of paranormal there. Yeah. So I would definitely, I mean, 20, 30, 40 quid or whatever, it's definitely worth a punt, and just bang it in your arsenal just to use if you need it. But the more expensive ones, what I found, tend to be worth their weight in gold. It's just a shame they're a bit costly, but we've got Brett.
That's for everything though, isn't it? Paranormal stuff is just always costly.
We've got Brett here as well, so maybe I might be able to get him to make one.
Well, I did make one of those other ones, didn't I?
Yeah, but not like Michelle's.
Oh yeah, and I've been looking for those boards, but I can't seem to find them online. Because I know which boards they use.
Yeah.
But it's just actually sourcing them.
Well, we're borrowing Michelle's one for this investigation we're going to in a couple of hours, so we'll just take it apart.
Yeah.
And give it back with nothing inside. Don't listen to that part, Michelle, if you're listening. But yeah, so the back to the house. So yeah, the house was everything all the principle was all set up. We was trying to be professional from start to finish. We was doing everything by the book, but also respecting that it was Michelle's house, and of course the son was there as well. So we was trying to respect.
And a lodger as well, wasn't there?
There's a lodger in there as well. So there's 3 people. So the house was pretty full, to be honest with you. So we was trying to get paranormal activity captured on film, and also to view it ourselves with our own naked eye. But you got to remember there was like 7 people in the house.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of noise overlapping, which was very much a pain, and we also had people overlapping. So when it came to editing, it was an absolute pain to try and capture the evidence to not capturing people walking about or people talking at the wrong time and this, that, the other. All in all, the episode, I squeezed it out to be just good enough to be uploaded. I mean, literally by a hair's length. We learned from it, I think.
Oh yeah, we did massively.
Yeah, it was a massive learning curve from start to finish.
You got to think that was our third time investigating. So Degree, Demon Church, and then.
I'm sure we're missing something in between.
No, we're not. Honestly, yeah, we're not.
All right, fair dues.
So obviously, yeah, it's like
Did we do Warren Percy in between that?
No, I think that was after it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Warren Percy, I think, was after. That was after we'd done the house, I think.
Got ya.
But again, like I say, that footage, we can use that, could we? So, like I say, we're going to go back there, that we. So.
Yeah, that's another thing that's in the plan. That's in the making. Got so many locations to this year. Oh my days, really, we've got so much. The list is just endless. I'll show you the list after we get off air. Jesus, it's big. So yeah, editing it was a bit harder than I thought. It took a lot longer than what it should do. The evidence, which compared to the interview and what we'd been told previous before we got to the location, to the actual evidence we actually captured, there's a massive gap in between. Is it haunted? I think the stick figure in the loft, my personal opinion, there's something there.
Yeah, like I said, because the reaction was going in the loft with the REM pod and stuff.
Yeah, the evidence that was captured, there's something there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Not like vicious, I'd say, though. I'd just say it's just
It's not one of those spirits that wants to make themselves known, I believe.
No.
They're like, you'll find that in locations that some spirits, say any people that are listening now do go out and do investigate themselves. First of all, I do congratulate you for that, because that's the best thing to do. To be out there in the field and actually witnessing it yourself, fantastic. I suggest it to everyone. But when you actually do go out and you do find certain locations, you will find certain locations that spirits just don't want to interact. They're happy to sit in their residual energy, live their their life as they live it then. They probably might see what they see when they died, and they don't want to communicate with anyone. And you will find that you might pick up a residual energy that's an overlapping thing in time, that's overlapping all the time, and you might be in the right place at the right time, and you might pick it up. And if that does happen, you'll know about it, because you will clearly hear it, see it, or feel it. But then there's other locations where the malevolent spirits are either a bit more evil, or they very much want to make themselves known, or they're just quite frankly pissed off. And people go in there and investigating all the time. They get a bit annoyed and they make themselves known, whether it's poltergeist, movement, voices, visual, or letting your equipment go off. There's two different aspects to it, and then of course the third aspect would be nothing happens at all. So there's a hell of a lot to learn. And I'm still learning now, and I probably will still be learning for the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. But that's what makes it more interesting, because there's so much of the paranormal, and I'm going to career off this now because these scum for house for a second. There's so much of the paranormal that I just quite frankly do not understand. Like Michelle, she classes herself as a pagan witch. Now there's two types of witches. There's a pagan, and then there's something else. Her sister told me this. So Michelle's a pagan witch. Don't ask me what pagan means. I don't fucking clue. And then a sister is classed as something else.
But she's still a witch, though.
Yeah, they class themselves as a witch. Now, what? Again, this is where I'm a bit blank. What is a witch in this day and age? Or what can they do? Do they mix potions? No, they don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never actually asked Michelle the actual question. And if I were to use my imagination at what it could be, is I think maybe they could just see things a lot more different to what a human, maybe me and you could see. I don't know.
Yeah, or they can feel or sense things.
Sense things,
more than a standard human.
Yeah. There's a big, massive blank gap between me knowing what really they are. But to be honest with you, Michelle herself, I do take her to investigations. We've done a lot of them together. A lot more than Brett, believe it or not. And the activity that we can drum up between ourselves is absolutely phenomenal. And to this day, I still can't understand how or why it happens. I really can't.
Yeah.
I do believe now, after working with her for over a year now, that things just seem to want to happen in front of that woman, and that's why I keep investigating with her. Things attached to her. I'll tell you a quick story. We went to an RAF base, me, Michelle, and it was another guy called Mark. So it was three of us. And another woman called Diane. Now Diane is what do you call it? There's a name for it, where you can sense that you've got something following you.
Like a medium.
Medium, that's the word. I thought I said comedian then. Yeah, a medium. She's a medium. Now, I've never met Diane before. Never heard of her. Literally was driving to the location, and Mark just pulled off this side road to this house and bibbed, and I was like, what's going on here? And then this woman came out, and she got in the back of the car and sat next to me. I was like, hi. Pleasantries and that. I said hi to her and stuff like that. My name's Dave, and she's like, hi, my name's Diane, and that was it. And we was quiet. And we was just driving down to this RAF base, which was from her house up a good hour away. And all of a sudden, she just turned round, literally turned her full body to me, and turned to me and she went, "You've got something with you." And I'm like, "What the hell? Who is this woman?" It took me aback. I was like, "All right, yep, no problem. What is it and who is it?" She went, "I'm not too sure what it is, but I know it's a female." So I went, "Well, what's her name?" And what was her name? She said, "Oh God, it's a name that came back in my life." No, begins with L. It's not Laura, Lorraine. No, can't be name. L. As the podcast is recording now, it'll come back to me and I'll pop it in. But she said this name, and I was like, right, okay, but how do you know she's with me or attached to me? And she said that Diane, this woman, she went, "You've been to a location and she's asked to be attached to you, and you've agreed, and you've walked out this location and." Excuse me, she's attached to you. So I was like, whatever. I was pretty much. I'll say. In my head, I'm thinking she's had a couple of too many gins before she got in the back of this car. She's a bit fucking cuckoo and whatever. Because I didn't really, not believe, but I wasn't really too sure how to go about taking that kind of information. Anyway, that was it. And we did this investigation, and cut a long story short, we absolutely had nothing go on. So it didn't even get uploaded, unfortunately. I had no evidence to put up, and if I've got a full location with not a single bit of evidence, I tend not to bother, because I'd rather move on to the next one where there is good evidence to upload to you, the general public, and myself. I'd rather do that, so we never uploaded on this location, unfortunately. But this thing stuck in my head, what this Diane said, and I couldn't shake it. I really couldn't shake it. And then me and Michelle were talking, and Michelle pointed me into a memory that I'd completely forgot. When we first went to the old people's home, we had an EVP come through, and he said, "Can I attach?" And Michelle, and the EVP came through on the recorder saying, "Can I attach?" But it also came through on the necrophonic, "Can I attach to you?" So I had that necrophonic message, so I said, "Do you want to attach to me?" And then it came through, "Yeah," like a couple of seconds later, yeah. So Michelle said, "Dave, are you happy?" So I went, "Yeah, I'm happy with that." Like, not thinking much of it. No, I'm blinkers on and all that.
Yeah.
And that was it. Did the investigation. Everything went hunky-dory. The police came. We didn't get arrested. We didn't even get escorted out. And we ended up leaving the property on our throwing we will, because we lost our mojo. Take a breath, Dave. So that was that part. Didn't think anything of it. Now, where we're recording right now, Brett, everyone can't see us, of course, but we are recording in my bedroom. One day I'm going to move, and I'm going to get a big apartment or a bigger house, and I'm going to have my own dedicated studio thing for editing. That's all in the future. Dave, you're talking too much again. So, this girl, what was her name? God.
It begins with L.
It begins with an L. I'm dying to ask Michelle, because Michelle knew the name. Lorraine, no, it begins with an L. It's a real weird woman's name. It's like a 21st century name. It wasn't anything old. So the thing is, though, the care home that I said you can attach to me, in the care home, the name that Diane gave me didn't sound like an old woman's name. But in all fairness, because you're in a care home doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have old people that have passed there.
Oh, no, yeah.
You can have things that have happened a lot more previously. And the name will come to me. I know it begins with an L. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, things that have been happening here. So, I've lived in my own apartment. And ever since Diane mentioned this to me, of course, I've been living my life, doing my day-to-day thing, and little things have been cropping up. So, over the space of that happening and us talking now on this episode, I would say it's been probably about 7 months. There is a woman, and do you know how I know there's a woman in here?
What woman in this?
Not right now with us, I don't know. But
yeah,
but there's something, right. First of all, when I do an edit, I do a voiceover, don't I?
Yeah.
Michelle picked this up, and it scared the freaking daylight out of me. I did a voiceover with this mic that I'm pointing at now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that one that you're on now.
Yeah.
Because we had to get that later on.
Yeah.
I did a voiceover, and then I played it back. And to my left, or to my right, I don't know, whatever side, I heard a woman's voice.
No.
Yeah.
What, on your voiceover?
Yeah. The TV in the back room was off. There was no fan on. Nothing. But the thing is, though, I didn't believe it. So I still put it on the upload. It's online now. It's on my YouTube channel. And Michelle watched the episode. And she rang me. No, she messaged me saying, "Your voiceover on the first part of that edit, was there a woman in the house with you?" So I went, "No, but I know exactly what you're on about." A woman came up, and me and Michelle need to listen back to it. I think I know what it is. I think I know what I heard was, "I'm here." That's what I thought I heard. Michelle said she needs to look back at it
to try and figure it out.
Now I can't remember what episode it is, but I'll ask. We'll see Michelle in a minute when we travel down to her house in a minute. But ask what episode it is, and then the next episode I will let everyone know which episode it is, and I will tell you the timestamp. So you can listen to it, but you can clearly hear. I mean, I had no one in the house, and you could hear a woman, and it's the freaky part is when I was doing this edit, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And what I do is I'll do the full edit, and then I'll do the voiceover right at the very end, so I know exactly what edit I've got visual.
Yeah.
So the voiceover I could have matched to it, and when I played it back and I heard it. Oh my God, the feeling. Do you know when you get that adrenaline rush, like you're going to go into a fight and you get full steamed up, like you've won 50 energy drinks? That's what felt of me, because I knew no one was in the house. That was the first instance. Second instance. Right, I'm going to try and explain this part a bit more professional, growing up. Dave went for a poo. I went to the toilet. And of course, when you go for number 2, you sit on a low. That rhymed.
Yeah.
When I walk into my bathroom, there's a drawstring, and this drawstring, once I walk past, when I'm sat there doing my business, for some reason I keep staring at this drawstring. And this drawstring was moving as I walked past, and of course, as I'm doing my business, it stopped. And I called out because I had a feeling something was in the bathroom with me. And I can only explain the feeling of you having a number 2 and feeling like you're getting watched. It's a very weird thing. And I turned around and I said out loud, if you're here and you can hear my voice, literally make that drawstring move. And to this day, the drawstring was like that, and it moved like that. The fan wasn't on again because I only use that when it gets cold. This was like last year, so this was like summertime. So the apartment was really warm. The drawstring moved. I jumped out my skin. Good job I'd finished. So I cleaned up everything and jumped out of the bathroom and closed the door. But then it kind of opened my eyes. So is there something in this house with me, in this apartment with me? Third thing. I was watching a film, and when I watch a film on my couch, you know where my couch is located there. I like to put my arms behind my head. I don't know why, to support my head, or I don't know, just to be lazy. You know when you're lazy, like vegging out. And knee engrossed in this film. And I will tell you, the film is fantastic. Avengers, you can't beat it. And I think Iron Man was the next one. I love Marvel. That's another story. I was watching them, and in front of me, all I can explain is it's like my vision went blurred. Like when I'm recording an episode with my camera, if something's in front of my camera, my autofocus goes in and out ever so slightly. Now, I've limited that now to, number 1, if there's a bright light in front of my camera lens, it will automatically affect my focus. So now I know not to go, like if Michelle or Brett put a torch there on a windowsill, not to cast over to it because it'll affect my zoom. Anyway, take a breath there again. And I was lying there, and I was looking at my legs. So my legs were out in front of me, lying flat on a couch, like chilling my bean kind of thing. And my eyesight just went a bit, and I was like something was in front of me on my legs. And I couldn't figure out what it were. And I had this feeling, this sensation on my kneecap. And I just paused, my other arm, like slowly went to the remote. I paused the film so I could hear anything, if there's something that I could hear. I paused the film. Dead quiet in my apartment. Literally, I've got people around me, but by God, this apartment's been made really well. It's insulated so well, so you can literally hear a pin drop. Couldn't hear nothing. And all I felt was this cold breeze go from my end of my foot. Bearing in mind my apartment was pretty warm most of the time. It was warm. Well, it was warm at night. I had candles burning. Yes, I'm like a feminine kind of thing. So I had candles going, so it was real warm. And I felt this cold go on my end of my toe, travelled all the way up to my kneecap, just this cold breeze. So my heart started beating a bit quicker at this point, because I thought, why would this cold spot just come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that kind of struck me. So a couple of seconds went by, maybe a minute, and all of a sudden it started getting warm again. Done dusted. Then I put my arms behind my head. Pressed play, of course, on the film. Put my arms behind my head. And I swear to you now, and it made me jump out my skin, I felt something. The door was closed, because what I do is I close that door when I'm playing a film in the front room, because I've got a 5.1 surround sound. I don't want the neighbours to be rattled by my it's quite loud.
Yeah.
And when I play a film, I like to be in the experience, so I have it not really loud, but fairly loud, so the boom is a boom and the tin is a tin, do you know what I mean? So you can hear all the clarity and whatnot. I put my hands behind my head, and all I can experience is just
Someone brushed past your hand, or?
No, like a hand. It just felt like a hand, like that.
Oh.
Just stroke underneath me. I'm getting goosebumps now, just explaining it. When it happened, my whole body got goose pimples. Because when your body goes through something either supernatural or it's just not too sure what's going on.
Yeah, all your senses are going off.
Your senses go off at once.
Yeah.
Your hair stand on end and you get these goosebumps from head to your toe, and I jumped out my seat and I was like, what the fuck? So I went straight into the bedroom and I grabbed my EMF and walked to the front room. I should record all this. I mean, I want to do it, but I'll explain why I haven't in a minute after I've blabbed on a bit more. So I got my EMF and I put my EMF on my couch. Nothing went off, so I placed it on the couch and stepped back right next to my fish tank.
Yeah.
I said, look, I know there's a woman here and I know she's followed me from the care home. I kind of sense that now. This is not the first time you've done something. If you are here, can you just make that go off? And it went straight to the amber. Just flicked once. I shot myself. Do you know what? Going to a location, Brett, is one thing. Because you're away from your home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a comfort zone for you.
Yeah, this is like your safe.
This is a safe haven.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I went, ooh, shit. My body just tensed up. I grabbed the EMF, put it back in its box, and then...
So did it only flick once?
Just went like that once. That was it. Just one flick right to the about 15 milligauss. Just less than 15 milligauss. So the first amber light. So no, 10 to 15 milligauss. Yeah. So it flipped once and then it never happened again. Just went like that. My phone, by the way, was in here because when I walked in my bedroom, which was far away from the front room, to get me EMF, I put my phone on my bed. And my EMF. Normally when I have my EMF now, ever since then I've done sweeps of if this apartment, even when my TV's on or electric's on and stuff like that, it doesn't pick up anything. It's just flatland all the way. But for it to go
and then just
stop, that to me was like, yeah, I'm here, and she's touched it and phoned off. Oh, I didn't sleep that night either because of it. But sometimes when I'm just doing my day-to-day thing and you're in an absolute blinding mind of your own, you're just bringing the shopping or you're just doing God knows what, the pots, you just have that feeling like either something's over your shoulder or just something is just staring at you. It's a weird feeling, but it's nothing aggressive. It's nothing overly like scary or anything like that. I mean, the only thing that scares me is that I have people down every so often and I don't tell them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I don't tell them anything but then I think to myself when I'm in the shower and I'm singing to Little Mix or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And they're watching that, laughing their head off, thinking, "What the hell is this weirdo doing?" So it's a personal space issue, but I've kind of come to understand it, and more to the point, I've kind of come to live with it really. If things started moving, remember when I messaged you before a while ago saying my TV keeps turning on and off?
Oh yeah.
It's a brand spanker.
Yeah.
That happened a few times. Surround sound would turn up and down manually, so that's another thing that happened. You've seen my Sony surround sound. You have a volume button, volume up, volume down. And on the display it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all that. And I was listening to music and I just looked behind me and looked at my screen. I could see it go 17, 18, 17, 18, up and down.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah, I looked at my remote on the table and my remote buttons weren't moving, but it was going 17, 18, 17, 18. I was like, right, that's weird.
Yeah.
So just little things now and then just always creep in, but I think the picking up of the EVP on my mic on my voiceover, that was a bit of a freaky part.
Yeah,
it was a bit freaky part, and the reason why actually I have mentioned this now is because we got a question from Michelle. Michelle is a massive follower of ours. She follows all our socials and she's a subscriber to our YouTube. I advise everyone to do the same. And she actually asked, has anyone ever wrong question. No, it wasn't Michelle. Michelle asked another question. Get it right, Dave. A woman called Tracy, she messaged in, do you ever worry about something following you to your home? Has this ever happened? So of course I've answered that way early, and yes, I did worry about it. Didn't think it'd ever happen, and clearly it has. So I've had the grey street with the dreams with Rachel.
And you got that, didn't you?
Yeah, then I've had the care home with something following me back. But I agreed to it in the care home, so stupid me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
But it's not like I say, it's nothing scary. You just get to live with it at the end of the day. And I think that's what Michelle's going through now at her house. I think things attached to her, and I personally think, I don't know, I'll ask you what you think about it, but spirits in general, to be, let's explain it fully. So, say a spirit like resides in a location because it's either suits them or they've got a reason to connect to it. If someone comes into their space, their location, and they either take a liking to them or they feel comfortable with them and they decide they want to attach and leave the place, do you believe that can happen?
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah. What about if it happened to you? I think your life's so bloody busy, you're never in the house long enough.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you always get that feeling when you do go to a location, you think, oh, well, what if we leave the location and like it's being really quiet, but then you think, well, what if someone does come home with you and you start to get things happening around your house?
Yeah.
So yeah, it does cross your mind, but like I said, same with you though, there's nothing you can do about it really.
No,
it's just one of them things.
You can read certain say hymns and poems, but things from the Bible.
I just wouldn't like a poltergeist type one though if it was. That'd freak me out.
No, I mean the one that I've got here is she's just what she wants now and then, and it's like once every couple of weeks. You know what I mean? It's like she has to build the energy up to do something or touch me or something like that. So it's once in a blue moon, not enough to basically investigate the property. But if it was something poltergeist wise, where I had a nice glass of wine and she knocked it over, I'll be like pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, number one, that's some decent wine, that woman.
Yeah.
Sort your face out, seriously. So the poltergeist thing, yeah, that's... First of all, it scared the bejesus out of me. But second of all, I would have to make an episode then. So
yeah.
I gained something from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about that one personally. I do think though, when you do go to locations, 9 times out of 10, the spirits are there for a reason, and they, quite a lot of them, I would probably say 80% of residual energy just stays there because it's there for a reason.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's just a segment of something in their life, and they're just doing it. So they could be walking down a corridor.
Yeah.
They walk to the end, they start back at the beginning again, and keep walking. Like they said before, if you go to a location and you get, you go to that corridor at this specific time, this is when you might get some sort of evidence from that residual energy. Yeah,
residual energy is a fantastic thing because when something magnificent or something very big or a moment in the previous past life has happened, the residual energy resides in the building itself. So whether it's walls or the items in the property or anything of the sort, it just resides in there just slightly. And of course, as life goes on, it's still going to be there. And like Brett was just saying, then it will relap and go over and over and re-loop itself. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you will capture it. It's just one of those. A lot of the evidence that I've captured on our tech at the moment is some of it is residual energy. Like when we go to the prison this month.
Yeah.
We will capture residual. It's next month. Yeah, it's near enough.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll capture
like the
residual energy keys
or like walking,
scream or something like that. So that I am very much
interested in that one.
Oh god, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I must admit though, Brett, and I'm going to say this now because it is a podcast, we do talk. I personally think there's a lot for you to witness and go through first.
Oh yeah,
so much.
Definitely.
At the moment in time, you're an open book, but you're very much my prodigy. So that's why I'm taking you to the care home, because I know out of the 30 plus locations I've been to, that care home, that building, that location is probably the most phenomenal location I've ever been to in this last year. And we've been twice, maybe 3 times, can't remember. I think it's twice, and it's never ceased to fail to amaze me. And I'll always say, like I said to Michelle when I see her, that care home's got so much more to offer. But you need the right people there.
Yeah.
You need the right people that's drumming the energy up. The energy there, the spirits there, literally they've been left there to die. They had a family that cared for them once upon a time, and they was coming to the end of their life. And of course, you expect the family to still care for them. The family have said, I ain't got time for that, so I'm going to put you in a care home. So these people, these spirits at the time, have come to... The last known memory is that building that they last saw, and they were probably hurt, depressed, emotionally crippled, and confused.
And lonely as well, weren't they?
Yeah, very much lonely.
Yeah.
So when we walked in there, oh god, the heavy feeling that you get on your shoulder is fantastic, and the evidence we captured just speaks for itself. So of course, get Brett down there, it's got to be done. But I must admit, there was a lot of things that you need to see, feel,
and definitely
keep that bug, because Brett's like a long piece. It's like Brett is like a long strand of hair. If you pull it tight enough, it'll break. In my head, in my eyes, I think if Brett doesn't get evidence, we'll never see Brett again. He just won't come back again. He'll just disappear in the sunset and say adios, senoritas. I'm not interested no more. So I need to keep taking him to these locations so I can scare the living daylights out of him, and hopefully he can see, feel, and witness something paranormal, because it's not just what you see and feel, it's what your body goes through.
It's the feeling.
Oh my days.
It's the actual feeling inside your body and things like that.
And then a spirit touching
like you were saying about walking in and it's real heavy on your shoulder, I want to feel that.
Yeah.
You know, every location we've been to, I've never really had that sort of feeling where it's like, oh, you can feel the tension in this room. I've just never had that feeling.
I think the more locations you go to, the more it becomes second nature, I believe.
Yeah.
Especially if you know something really... 9 out of 10, when me and Michelle go to a location, I'll do a history check and find out what's gone on and what's gone on history-wise there. So you kind of know a bit before you walk in.
You've got an idea.
Yeah, you've got an idea, but I've gone into locations where there's been absolutely catastrophic stuff happening there, and I've walked in and it just feels like a normal building. And then sometimes I've done a history check on a place where literally I cannot find much history on it, and then all of a sudden I've walked in, it's like, what the hell have we just walked into? Like that place I went to on Monday, it's like literally middle of nowhere, and we walked in and me and Michelle just looked at each other and was like, can you feel that? And we're like, hell yeah. It just felt so heavy and depressing and sad, and you just felt. It's hard to explain. You just need to witness it. And once you felt it more than 2 or 3 times, it becomes second nature. And you'll walk into a place and you'll tell me and say, "Do you feel that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I feel that." And I'll explain what I feel, and you can agree or disagree. Yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot to the paranormal game. There's a lot to the paranormal field. And I mean, like I said before, at the start of the podcast, I'm still learning. And then Brett the Prodigy, he's got a lot more to learn, but he is Zach Bagans after all. So
I am.
Yeah.
Well, so you, sir.
He loves it. He's got this massive grin on, by the way. As soon as I say the word Zach and then the Bagans follows up, that's it. His eyes light up. He gets a glisten to it, and he's just a big, massive cheesy. He loves Zach Bagans. He's even spiked his hair up today for the occasion. And
he always have my hair spiked.
I don't know. You don't. No, you don't.
I'm not going to John.
You have a sad thing.
No, I don't.
Yeah, wait. So there's a guy in denial as well. Very much in denial. But yeah, so back to the original absolute podcast that we started off with. The episode was Scunthorpe House. So yeah, so we went and did the investigation. Personally, I think there is something there. I'd be foolish to think there wasn't.
Yeah, I'd say in the loft. Yeah,
definitely something there.
Always in the loft, we're getting the stuff.
Yeah, we've got the evidence there, don't we?
Yeah, there's definitely something there. Obviously, we didn't get enough response. So, like I say, an EVP, so we couldn't really get any answers to the questions we was given.
For what was explained when we got to the property, speaking to the owner, and before we even got there with our equipment, we just presumed, all of us presumed that it's going to be a case of we're walking there and we're going to have evidence galore. It's going to be one of those paranormal houses. I mean,
from what they was telling us, that was scary and experiencing in there.
Yeah. But
it's going to be a gem, but
nothing could have sought, unfortunately. We picked up a certain amount of evidence, which it's still got.
Yeah, we got some evidence.
Went to the final edit, but overall, I mean, I would say I'm not disappointed because you're going to get that in locations. Again, it's all learning curve. But I mean, I went to another home visit in Grimsby, and we got absolutely. I think all night we got emotion ball action and what else did we get? I don't think we even got the REM pod going off. And when I checked the footage back, I didn't get a single EVP, and we got nothing else of the sort, nothing visual, nothing audio. So again, I just couldn't upload it, and I said to the owner, I said, "I'm sorry, but I know you say your place." Excuse me, I'm burping there. I know your place is haunted, and I know you've had experiences, but unfortunately, we've not picked anything up, and I'm going to struggle to make an episode. You have to let me know in the comment section of this, or message on our social medias if there's episodes that we do come across and there is no evidence. Do you still want me to upload it? I mean, I'd be more than happy to edit it and upload it to show that yes, we've been to a location, we didn't pick anything up.
Yeah, because I think some people do put that.
Some people do like it.
They just don't seem to have the episode as long because there's no stuff going on.
Yeah, and the reason why I didn't do it is because the episodes that were full of evidence take a lot longer to edit. So of course I got sidetracked onto that instead. But again, let me know if you actually want an episode up where fortunately no evidence was captured, but you still want the episode up. Let me know, and I'll probably do it from now on in. It's just something I never really thought about till actually speaking about it now. But yeah, we did get a few questions again, Brett. Where's my pad? Question of the week. Sorry, we listen to podcasts too much. Yeah, so we got another. Michelle has sent another question in. Now she sent another question in previously on our previous episodes, which we've already answered for her. And she's sent another one in now. So this is from Michelle. Has anyone ever looked out of an old window and saw the past, like they had travelled in time, then looked again back, and it's gone back to the original time?
Well, so like if I looked out the window.
Well, me or you, have you? I mean, I've never witnessed that. I've never done it. It's never happened to me. Maybe it might have happened to Michelle, but you go to a location where. I mean, she's put a window, but it could be a mirror or it could be anything within the property, and you had a vision of what it was like back then. I'm lying. No, I did have one once. We went to a farmhouse, me and Michelle. Oh God, where was the location? It was somewhere in Lincolnshire. That's all I remember. Somewhere in Lincolnshire. It was literally out in the sticks. 9 times out of 10, these places are. I don't know what it is, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And this little and what it was 2 daughters that unfortunately there was a family feud. Oh, the episode's called Family Feud.
Well, yeah.
And basically, there's a big, massive feud, and 2 sisters killed themselves. Very, very sad in the story, and I have news articles and evidence to back the story up, but we wasn't too sure if it was real, so of course we went there and investigated. And I was in the downstairs main room, which was their living room back in the day, where you'd think a lot of family stuff happens in. And I remember turning around behind me, and I had like a flashback. And I remember saying to Michelle, "God, Michelle, I just looked at that wall, and it's like I've gone back in time, and I could see all the furnishings and the pictures on the wall and stuff like that." And as I've turned round and seen that, I turned back to Michelle, and it was like back to normal again. I've always wondered if the spirits see that like that. You know,
see it as it was.
Yeah, but
then
see it as
I
it
don't
is.
see it as like just the way it is now, like run down and stuff.
We've asked this question on investigations out loud, and we've said, "Do you see?" We've had multiple replies, of course. Some of them being like, "Yes, we do see as it is," and then some of them have replied saying no. So it depends on the spirit itself.
Because it's residual energy. That's gonna see something.
Yeah, it's gonna see its own life.
Yeah,
it's past life. Not a past life. It's current life that it was when it passed over. But yeah, it's a weird feeling. I've had that once. I've only actually reading that question actually reminded me of having that.
Yeah, no, I can't say if it's ever happened.
That's why you need to start doing more investigations, Britness. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I do think that maybe spirits either choose if they want to see what they were seeing when they passed, or they choose if they want to see how the building looks like present day. I think 9 times out of 10 a spirit would like to live in the property. Actually, there's a story I read about this. There's this castle somewhere in Wales, and if you're driving past it, there's an A road right off this castle. And if you're driving in the middle of the night, if you're driving past it and you can catch this castle in your eye, your visual vision, because the castle's near enough falling apart, but if you catch it right, apparently this castle looks all built up like it's normal, and then you look again, it's back to what it was. And it's on this main road right next to this castle, somewhere in Wales. I've read about it actually this week, I think last night or the night before, I think. Some castle in Wales. It's weird. I mean, I've never come across that myself personally, but it's weird, isn't it? So something might have happened on that road. Another story. Oh, these keep coming to me. I was at my old workplace, and this guy, Gary, his name is. He found out, as they all do, about what I do, and he came up to me like. It's really weird actually. He came up to me like, "Oh, you're the paranormal guy, aren't you?" That's what he said. "You're the paranormal guy." I was like, "Yeah, that's me, yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I've got a story for you." He lives at that time. He's moved now. He lived Scarborough. That's it. So the workplace that Scarborough in UK. Sorry for any listeners that are further from the UK. He lived in Scarborough in the UK, and at the time when I was speaking to him, we worked in Melton, which of course is in the UK, which is about 30 miles from Scarborough, maybe 25, something like that. And he came up to me and he said, "Oh, you're the paranormal guy." I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Oh, what it is, on the way home, on this bend on this road," and he explained the road. He told me the name of the road, the actual exact location. So every time you go across this bend, something weird happens. It's happened twice now. I was like, "Oh, what's that then?" Now at first I thought he's going to take the piss out of me now.
Yeah.
Where's he going with
this?
You're a paranormal guy. You're a fucking weirdo, you know. And start pointing the finger, but he didn't. It looked so serious. So every time I go on his corner, something always happens. It's happened twice now. And it's to the point where I've actually spoke to my wife when I got home about it, and we've had to look at the history on the road. He says, as he's going around his corner, this is one of those corners where you have to slow down to about 30.
Yeah.
This spirit crosses the road and goes through his car. And he said it goes right past him, right in front of the steering wheel, and you can see the torso, the head just go right through the car. Just one side to the other. And it happened twice in 2 separate nights. So he looked at the history, and there was a massive crash there 4 months previously. A guy got killed and his 2 children. Crashed into a front end lorry. A lorry crashed into him, killed him 4 months previous.
So it could be that spirit.
So it could be the spirit of the male gentleman literally crossing the road or running away from the accident. You know, I don't know whatever happened. A residual energy. But he said it went through him twice. The first time he saw it with his own eyes, and the second time he felt it. In the same corner, and the night after. So I believe like that. If an instance happened, like a big, massive, major crash, you think you're living your life hunky-dory, living your life, breathing your oxygen, doing what you do. Boom, if you're dead.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a car crash. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to sit there confused. The residual energy is going to be on that road at that crash site. I mean, I've seen a few videos of like this guy. He put a camera on a mouse trap. Sorry. This mouse came up and ate the cheese, and it went. It made you jump that. It did. And the mouse trap went. A mouse trap went down and killed this mouse, and right above the mouse's head, as soon as that trap hit its head, a little orb went. Floated off to the.
What saw it from?
Yeah, you saw it down. As soon as that trap went, bing, and you jumped.
Yeah.
The little orb just flew up from it. Another situation. A guy in America did exactly the same thing. His dad, unfortunately, bless him, was on his deathbed, and the son wanted to record his dad's last breaths and last message for family reasons, and, you know, stuff like that, which I don't really want to go into. He's got his own reasons for it. So he had a camera there facing his dad. His son was at the end of the bed on a chair and he fell asleep, but he left the camera running just in case he missed his last moments.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you can see the cover of this of the bed, you know, because the cover was off for his dad, of course, moving up and down as he was breathing. All of a sudden, it just slowly stopped, like he took his last breath. And all I saw was this orb.
Straight from the...
Yeah, as soon as that last breath was taken, the orb went up. And it was on, I think I seen that on TikTok. Yeah, mate, TikTok's phenomenal for some of the things.
You can go on paranormal, stuff on there.
It's got an algorithm, so it remembers me. So it remembers what I like and what I don't like. So every time I go on now, it's pure paranormal. Literally, paranormal, and I can't get enough of it. And then look at the random one that pops in, like something else that I've liked, and then that'll keep me entertained. And they call it TikTok for a reason, because the time just ticks.
No, you want it, you're like, oh God, I've been on it for 2 hours.
Oh, duh, I know.
You don't realise, like, you've been on it for like 5 minutes.
I know. And then I watch back my old videos, and I think they're nothing compared to some of the videos that I was there. I think, oh man, nothing compared to that. Follow my TikTok, HGC After Dark. I do upload on there. I think I've got like 50 videos on there, something like that. So yeah, there's so many different forms of... I just find it all intriguing. I do. I really find it all intriguing. There's another guy. Oh, again, I can't remember his name, but he's got his own TikTok channel, and he lives in a haunted house.
Is it Aaron?
No. Aaron?
Yeah, like on that celebrity.
No.
It's not him. Did you see that one? Did you see that episode?
No, I've
not seen it. Oh,
shush. That's it. Yeah. Talk about it in a minute. So basically, this guy, he's got a haunted house, or he thinks he brought something in, and this spirit is just attached to his kids. Likes playing around with his kids all the time. So little things were going on in the house, and so he started, as you do, you put cameras everywhere, not just to keep an eye on your kids, but also to catch a bit of paranormal what was going on. But he didn't realise what he was capturing until he actually looked back, and then he started uploading it to his TikTok. Once I found the name of this TikTok guy, I'll add it onto my next episode and check him out. It's fantastic. And his kid was playing in the playroom, as a kid does, and there's a camera above the door just recording it. And then all of a sudden, this kid just stops and looks underneath the bed and puts his arm underneath the bed. Behind the kid was one of them strollers, you know, a kid would walk.
Oh, yeah.
The stroller moved like that, and then all of a sudden this kid put his arm to reach something. I don't know what he was reaching, and then went into bed.
Went under the bed?
Yeah. Not a full body, but you can see it tug. The kid was about 2 or 3. It was a girl. She crapped herself and screamed the loudest, horriblest scream I've ever heard in my life. The spirit didn't manage to drag it fully underneath the bed, but attempted it, so you can see it jerk. Yeah. But the way the body posture of this young kid was, you'd think she might have fell, but her body posture was, she was literally kneeling, and her arm was reaching out, and the other arm was knelt on the floor, so she had a pretty good standing. She wasn't going to fall over and anything like that. And like I say, she was 2 or 3 years old, so she could walk, talk, and this, that. And you could see it physically pull her underneath the bed, and I was like, oh my God. And some of the things that this guy's captured, like things, poltergeist things moving, and it's always revolved around the kid. The kid will be in there in bed reading a book to herself, and then she'll be turning around. She'll be sat there in a bed reading the book, and she'll turn around and start talking to someone next to her. No, like a deep conversation.
Yeah.
And it's just, when it comes to kids and paranormal, that's my limit. It freaks me out. I mean, I've got no kids, so it's just one of those. But when it comes to the paranormal things and then kids involved with it, it's like, it puts the heebie-jeebies down my spine. It really does. Next question, anyway, before I keep blabbing on. I've spoke all this podcast. You've hardly spoke of anything. Is there anything you'd like to say, Brett? How are you finding this HTC After Dark thing at the moment?
How am I finding it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Tell me. Talk to me. Talk to me, my son.
We're moving up.
No. Talk to me, I said.
Yeah, we're moving up.
I know that.
Subscribers.
Talk to me. How are you feeling about it all?
As I've always felt about it.
How have you always
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud. I forgot to start that. That's my intro, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, next episode I've got a different intro I'm going to try and trial out.
And, I'm looking forward to the Old People Zone tonight. Bit nervous.
Do you like spending time with me?
Because
we've spent more time with each other in the last 6 months than we ever did for the last 20 years.
Yeah, no,
we didn't. Actually, when we first, I'll take that back. I used to sleep at your house all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah. No, I do. I like I say, I enjoy coming here on a Sunday, doing the podcast. Like I say, it's at the time just to have a quick catch up, and then obviously put things in place, make some more plans, and go from there. So that's why I like that. Well, I like the since we started doing the podcast. Like I say, it's just a weekly thing, and it's something a little bit different than it was obviously going out investigating and stuff. It's just about us, and our experiences.
Yeah, you mix it up a bit as well. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, the podcast will be primarily based, the objective is the paranormal, but I mean, sometimes I might mix a bit here and there.
Yeah, that's it. If you've got a story to tell, or what's not even
a situation,
yeah,
always good to just pop it into the episode. And then also, it's also good when you're on a night shift and you get a nice random video from a Bretness at 1 o'clock in the morning, him dancing to himself in the front room because he's drank too much gin. Another story, another day. Next, we did get another question, and this was from Sharon. I want some of your merch, as your hoodies look really good. I know, but I think it's the person wearing the hoodie that makes it look good. Speaking for personal preference here. How do I go about doing this? Now, I must admit, merchandise. We do have a merchandise thing going on, but we are having a revamp this year. We're still wearing last year's ones. I mean, don't get me wrong, we are only in February, so...
Yeah, we've changed. Obviously, you've noticed with all the pages and stuff like that on our channel, the logos tend to have changed.
Branding's changed on it.
So we are looking at getting some more
design
this year, and then we're also going to wear them. So we'll keep you updated with that, because that is on the to-do list.
I can update now. I can update everyone now. No, I'm looking at designing some new ones this week. I have an idea in head how I'd like it to look. Like Brett was just saying now, all our socials and our YouTube is all at a massive rebranding for 2022. Keep it nice and fresh, unique, different. Being the paranormal, we need to stand up from the crowd. Not just for us, but for people watching. So we will change it and bring it up to date, freshen up every year. So that does involve merchandise and what we wear and what people want to buy or want to get offers. So I will be designing sometime this week a new set of branded hoodies and t-shirts.
Definitely t-shirts this year.
Yeah, I was about to say to you then, it'll be definitely t-shirts this year because we're coming into summer. Don't get me wrong, it's a few months away, but by the time it'll come upon us.
I can remember when Warren Percy was in hoodies, it was boiling.
I know.
It was absolutely boiling. It did get cold though, didn't it, later on?
So there's going to be t-shirts, hoodies, and I'm also going to design caps in...
I say caps then.
Caps, C-A-P-S. And also...
Bunny hats?
Just any kind of headwear really.
Yeah.
I want to do mouse mats and all that kind of stuff, to know just future stuff like but it's going to be primarily 3 things at the moment in time. The famous saying goes, don't run before you can walk. Yeah. So I've got an idea in my head how I want it to look. Now, if you've seen our hoodies at the moment, I think they still look fresh. I still like them. They're still comfortable.
Yeah, I do.
And they've been, personally, has been in the wash over 30, 40 times, and it's still, looking at my chest right now, looks pretty decent. The logo is fine, and it's actually printed on this one that we've got now. The new ones are going to be embroidered on. Embroidery is the way forward. You get a lot longer lasting logos, and they just look a hell of a lot better. They're a bit more expensive to make, but they just look the part. So that will be sometime designed this week, and everything that is designed will be uploaded onto all our socials. If you're interested in any of our items, pop me a direct email. Just message me, private message me, or DM, what you call them, direct message. Sorry.
DM,
yeah, just DM me. Say what you're interested in. Give us a size. I'll give you a price. If you're happy, we'll get it sorted. And no matter where you are in the world, we can post it out to you.
Yeah.
More than fine. It won't be too expensive. I do like to try and keep the cost down, not just for you guys, but for us as well, because it comes out of our back pockets as well, same as you. So we will keep the cost down, but you will get the highest quality. There is one.
Yeah, you pay for you definitely paying for what you get for the quality.
110%.
Yeah.
That's why we've gone through a couple of sites previously, haven't we? To know trial and error. You know about that, don't you?
Yeah.
And they've just not been great. So we've finally found one, which is the one that we used for our current hoodies. Their timescale is decent. Their prices is
Could be reasonable.
Yeah, it could be better.
But again, like you say, it's for the quality.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, true. But like I say, it's the quality, isn't it? Like I say, these hoodies we've had.
Yeah.
The quality is really good on them.
I mean, I've watched this 40 times. You can still feel. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's starting to affect it there, but it's still there.
Yeah.
For the price we paid, I think 39 quid.
Yeah.
So 30 plus quid, or pounds even, sorry, for this, and they're still lasting just as long. But yeah, so next week I will get something designed. I'll get it all on our socials, and like I say, interested, bang us a message, and we'll definitely try and sort something out. And then in the future we will get a website designed, made. I have just been speaking to Instagram only last week, and we've actually getting the process of getting a store added to our account. I think we're nearing the finalised on that now. I just need to add the merch, I got an email yesterday.
Yeah, so
where,
once you've done your design.
yeah, once I've done my design, I can add it onto there. They take a freaking cut though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, just like PayPal do. But Instagram are really cheap. Instagram like take a 1.5% cut, which ain't that bad considering it's like, yeah, won't be much. I think PayPal's like 3%, 3-4%. No, was it 6%? I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, PayPal was
really expensive.
Yeah, something like that.
So if we'll sort it out. There's ways and means, and I'll leave it with me. Of course, I'll definitely get. It's another thing that I need to get sorted, so I will get round to getting that sorted. But there is a shop coming on Instagram soon enough, and once that's done, again, you'll be the first people to let know that it's all done and dusted, and have a check it out, see what you think. I would hazard a guess now that would be episode 4. Conclusion, done, dusted. I think this episode went really well. It flowed. No one ever heard anything of Brett. He's hardly spoken for nearly an hour, which is fantastic.
I've got great listening skills.
Yeah. But yeah, next episode, again, keep your questions coming in. They're fantastic. I love reading them out. I love answering them. Any stories, keep them coming in.
Yeah, we love the interaction.
We
do. Makes the podcast a little bit better as well.
It does, and plus we like to hear from your point of view as well as talk about ourselves as usual. So anything, just send it in, no matter how small it is. Just
or even if it's just a daft question, just still send it in, you know.
Definitely. And again, thank you very much for your support from start to finish. It makes my life a lot easier knowing that the messages by the way, but the messages I've been getting on Instagram today, I'll show you when we go off air. Really good support.
Yeah.
Really, really good support.
Good.
Saying that they're liking our uploads. We're a fresh look to the paranormal. I had one message saying that they followed us from start to finish. Well, not finished, because we haven't finished yet. But yeah, from the start, and you can see the progression, which is...
Oh, I would got better.
Yeah.
Which is, that's good.
That word progression means so much in my life right now. It really does. So it just shows that you do start somewhere, and you do...
We're still going in the right direction.
We're going in the right... Yeah, definitely. We're going in the right direction. But again, if you've listened this far, thank you very much for listening this far. And if you've listened to all 4 episodes, again... big mega thanks for that as well. Episode 5 will be again uploaded next week, Sunday, as per usual. But other than that, I wish you goodbye.
Bye.